Hello, and welcome to this week's lesson all about supplements. We're going to be going over the best supplements for Hashimoto's. So, what you're going to learn is why people with Hashimoto's need supplements, which supplements to take and why, how and when to take your supplements, and then planning for travel, because that can be tricky if you're like me and you have an entire supplement cabinet that you need to take if you're going on a long trip. So, why most people with Hashimoto's need supplement support? The main reason is the nutrient deficiencies in our food supply. The way our soil is farmed and our food is grown these days with all the pesticides that are sprayed on them, we are not getting enough nutrients from our food and enough nutrients from our soil. So we really need to supplement that with our vitamins and supplements. Another big reason is that certain supplements help to regulate the immune system. And if you remember, I talk about this a lot. Hashimoto's is not a thyroid problem, it's an autoimmune problem. So we need to support the immune system so it's not going crazy and attacking our bodies. So a lot of these supplements help to regulate the immune system and kind of tamper down the immune attack on your own cells. And lastly, a lot of these supplements help to convert T4 into T3 and improve our thyroid function. And T3 is the thyroid hormone that controls our metabolism, our energy. So we really want to make sure we're getting enough T3 in our bodies. And I find that a lot of Hashimoto's patients aren't even prescribed a T3 med, and we really need to have enough T3 in our bodies. And with these supplements, a lot of Hashimoto's patients have a deficiency. So I'm going to be going over the big supplements to take next. So these are the most beneficial supplements for Hashimoto's. And we are going to start with a probiotic. So gut health is essential to healing Hashimoto's, and we're going to be going over that next week when we talk about the microbiome and gut health. But getting a good probiotic is really one huge step that we can take into healing our gut and Hashimoto's. Probiotics help to restore the good bacteria in our system, and they also help to lower anxiety and also balance out the immune system. Now, when I was a child, I used to get strep throat a lot, and I have been on so many antibiotics like amoxicillin. As women, we get UTIs and you're prescribed Cipro. So if you've taken a lot of antibiotics in your life, chances are you would benefit from a really good probiotic because the antibiotics kill all of the good bacteria. So we really need to help replenish those in the gut. And just a good rule of thumb, if you have to take an antibiotic, it's not the end of the world, but just make sure that you are eating a lot of fermented foods and taking a good probiotic to help restore that good gut bacteria. You can also eat sauerkraut, kimchi, there's fermented coconut yogurt. Any fermented foods are going to also help you get really good probiotics into your system. So I always say, start with around like 10 billion CFUs and then work your way up from there. There are so many probiotics in the market. So kind of see what works for you. I like taking one that doesn't have to be refrigerated so that if you are traveling, you don't have to worry if you're going to have access to a refrigerator or anything. So finding a good one, I have typically found really good ones at Whole Foods is always a good place to start. There's a good liquid one by Mary Ruth's Organics that I like to take. So just find one that works for you and then see how you feel. All right, next is selenium. And selenium is a crucial supplement for Hashimoto's. And a selenium deficiency, if you don't have enough selenium, that can actually be a trigger for Hashimoto's. So that's why I say selenium is a rock star supplement, because it's one of the key nutrients involved in T4 to T3 conversion. So if someone's not converting T4 to T3 well, and you can see that in your blood work, I always say take a selenium supplement. It also helps to lower antibodies if your antibodies are really high, and it supports the immune function. And it's also a really good supplement if one of your side effects from Hashimoto's. One of your symptoms is hair loss. I know I've been dealing with hair loss as long as I've had Hashimoto, so I always try and get my selenium. And you can get too much selenium. So this is one supplement you want to test for. And you want to make sure you're not taking too much. And I know a lot of people say, oh, you can get selenium from Brazil nuts. And I used to say the same thing. But now I would advise against just eating Brazil nuts every day because you just don't know how much selenium you're getting. And we want to be careful. We don't want to get too much. So I would say keep it around 100 to 200 micrograms a day. A good rule of thumb is, 200 micrograms is what I take, is in my supplement. And then just make sure you're not getting too much. And if you start feeling, like your hair's falling out or anxious, maybe step away from the selenium. You always want to make sure that your selenium is in the right range. So this supplement, I definitely recommend getting tested for with your doctor before you start taking it. And with all of these supplements, I would say check in with your doctor and just make sure that they're okay for any other medications that you're on. These are all really great in conjunction with thyroid medications, but if you're taking any other medications, just double check. Most of these are perfectly fine, and you just want to make sure that all of your nutrient and vitamin levels are good before you start supplementing. All right, next one is zinc. And I always try and take my zinc and selenium together because they work really well together in the body. I take them around the same time each day. And zinc is another supplement that is essential for T4 to T3 conversion. So zinc is a must if you have Hashimoto's. It also helps to lower inflammation in the body, which is one thing we can always use more help with, is like getting that inflammation down. It also helps to regulate the immune system, and it's really good to kind of ward off any viruses or colds. Zinc is a really great supplement for that, and it's also necessary for hair growth. So a lot of the same benefits that you get from selenium, and that's why I like taking them both together at the same time each day. Now with zinc, you want around 10 to 15 milligrams of zinc in a supplement. I think my supplement is 30. So you could probably take between 10 and 30 milligrams a day. And zinc is another one. If you have too much, you might feel a little nauseous. You might, have diarrhea. That can also be a side effect of getting too much zinc. So you want to make sure that you're taking the recommended daily allowance. And if you feel, worse after you're taking it, maybe take a little bit less. And I always say take it with food. So that way you don't get that nauseous feeling with zinc. Okay, next up, vitamin D3. Again, this is a huge supplement for Hashimoto's. Everyone with Hashimoto's should be taking vitamin D3. A lot of the times people with Hashimoto's have a vitamin D3 deficiency, and you always want to test for this one as well before supplementing. And most doctors know this test. It's the 25-hydroxy vitamin D test. A lot of them will do this test automatically, especially if your symptoms are depression and fatigue. So vitamin D3 is, again, another powerful immune system regulator. It really helps the immune system. And this is why a lot of doctors recommend it, if you're trying to fight colds or viruses or get over them. It really helps the body. Most people, I want to say 95% of people in the United States are deficient in D3. And it can really help your symptoms such as fatigue and depression. And that's what I personally experienced when I first was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. My vitamin D level was around 30, which is pretty low. So I started off, I take a liquid vitamin D supplement, and I take around 2,000 to 4,000 IUs a day. And that really helps to get my vitamin D levels up. And I feel really good when they're, around 80 or above. I've really felt a change in that depression and fatigue. And so again, talk with your doctor, make sure that you need the supplement and see what they say in terms of how much to take a day, because everyone's different. Everyone absorbs supplements differently. I always find that the liquid form absorbs better, and it can be taken with a fatty meal or with magnesium. So you can take it at night with your magnesium supplement, which is what I usually do after dinner. Or if you want to take it in the morning, have it with some avocado toast or some salmon or something where you're getting a good fat and then that will help the vitamin D3 absorb. Really great. Okay, next is Moducare, and this one is not really well known. I got this from my naturopath, and it really helps your immune system. So Moducare is a supplement, and they are plant sterols that help to regulate the immune system. So again, it's a supplement that helps keep the immune system from going crazy and attacking your body. It really kind of helps to regulate it so it's nice and even. And these plant sterols, this supplement also plays a huge part in supporting the adrenal glands and regulating cortisol and stress levels. And you know, if your stress is high and you have these high cortisol levels, that's going to lead to inflammation. So we really want to keep our stress even as low as possible as we can in this modern age. And Moducare really helps to do that. I get mine from Thorne, and this supplement you want to take on an empty stomach away from any food. So what I usually do is I get up, I take my thyroid medication, I wait 30 minutes, sometimes 45 to have some coffee, and then I'll take my Moducare an hour later. So you want to take any supplements an hour away from your thyroid medications. And then if you're taking iron or calcium, those need to be taken 4 hours away from any thyroid medication. So either before or after, and I'll go over this later on as well. Okay, next we have a B complex vitamin. And again, people with Hashimoto's typically have a deficiency in B12. So you always want to supplement with B12, but I like taking a B complex because all of the B vitamins help to support your energy, your metabolism, and they work really well together. We always need B1. There's also B6. And B12 and B1 are the most important to combat the fatigue. So I think I got mine at Whole Foods. It's the Whole Foods 365 brand, and it's a B complex vitamin that also has vitamin C. And I feel these are really great. I take this in the morning with food. You always want to take any supplements that help with energy and metabolism early in the day. So I also have a guide for when to take these, but I like taking my B complex vitamins earlier in the day. Next is magnesium. Magnesium is another supplement I can't live without. If I don't take my magnesium, I feel it in my body because magnesium is so important for so many processes in the body. It helps with blood pressure. It helps with muscle fatigue, aches, joints, any joint problems. It's essential for so many of the body's processes, and we don't get enough from the food. Now you can try and get some from, dark leafy greens, nuts, dark chocolate, but a lot of the times we just don't get enough from the food that we're eating. So I like to supplement. It can help with constipation, anxiety, muscle cramps, insomnia. If you're waking up at night and you can't get back to sleep, I'm like, okay, I need to get back on my magnesium supplement. And headaches. If you're having headaches a lot, I always recommend just having a magnesium supplement and drinking a ton of water. And that usually helps to alleviate them. And then next is omega-3 fatty acids. Again, these are so important for brain health, and most people don't absorb enough fatty acids through food alone. So the two main ones are DHA and EPA. And again, they help to lower inflammation in the body. So if you're seeing a trend here, it's true. All of these supplements help to lower inflammation in the body. And that is one of the most important things that we need to do to help heal our Hashimoto's is get rid of that inflammation. It can also help to alleviate any symptoms you're having like dry skin, depression, constipation, or brain fog. Fatty acids are really essential for brain health, and they really help to, kind of ward off dementia as well. So anything that's going on in our brains like depression, brain fog, these are a really good supplement to have. Okay, so how and when to take your supplements. I included a guide in this lesson. So download this guide, print it out, and look at it for a routine example. I like to take my supplements with food, except for the Moducare, where you don't want to take it with food. And I usually try and spread it out between 2 meals. So in the guide, I put breakfast and dinner. You could also do lunch and dinner or breakfast and lunch. I don't like to take them all at the same time because it's just a lot. So I kind of break it up into the beginning of the day and then the end of the day. And you can kind of go through, see what your routine is like. The key with supplements is to make sure that you have a routine that works for you and for your life, because there are so many. You want to make it as easy as possible on yourself. And then again, remember, take your supplements at least an hour between your thyroid medications and wait 4 hours if you're taking iron or calcium. I didn't include iron and calcium in this lesson because not all people need them. If you do have an iron deficiency, then yes, of course, you need to be on an iron supplement, but you can have that tested with your doctor. Okay, and then planning for travel. So this is the trickiest part of supplementing, is making sure that you take them all when you're traveling and you're out of your normal routine and you don't have your supplement cabinet with you. So what I recommend is packing your supplements the day before you leave. And usually I do this at night. I get out an amazing supplement vitamin organizer, and I linked it in this lesson. You can get it, from Amazon, CVS, any drugstore, and it basically has 7 days, and they're divided into morning and evening. So I put all my morning supplements in that compartment. I put all my evening supplements, I put the magnesium in that department. And then, of course, if you're taking liquid D3, I have a tiny vial of D3, and I pack that in a bag with any other liquid supplements. Like if you have a liquid probiotic, pack that in your bag as well. And then you want to use the container to just kind of stay organized. And then that way you don't have to take the big container every day. I just take out the small little daily packet and I just throw that in my purse. And, am I perfect? Do I take all of my supplements every day when I'm traveling? No, I don't think that has ever happened, but at least I have them. And when I do remember to take them, I feel so much better. So just do what you can and enjoy your time away. Okay, and these are my recommended supplement brands. There are so many out there. If you walk into any store, it's overwhelming how many supplements there are. So these are some of my favorites. These are recommended by all functional medicine doctors. These are the brands my functional doctors and naturopaths have recommended to me. And these are the ones that I buy and I take and I like them. So Thorne, Pure Encapsulations, New Chapter. If you're ever at Whole Foods, sometimes I have to, run into Whole Foods really quick and get a supplement. So I like the 365 Whole Foods Market brand. And then Garden of Life is also a really good brand. And you just want to make sure that all of your supplements are gluten-free and vegan. You want to make sure that the capsules that they're putting the supplements are in don't have a lot of fillers. I remember going to a drugstore. I was trying to get magnesium because I was out of magnesium. And they had some really bad fillers, like food dyes. You want to make sure there's no food dyes or aluminum or talc or any of those, nasty fillers that we really don't want in our bodies. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to message me, text me, Vox me. If you need help picking out supplements, I'm happy to help you. All right, and that is the end of the supplement lesson. So I know it's a lot of information. You may already be taking these supplements, but this is just a good reminder of why we should be taking these every day. Try not to fall off the supplement wagon. I know some of my clients are like, oh, I'm not feeling good. I'm depressed. I'm tired. I'm taking my thyroid medication, but I'm still not feeling good. And then I ask them, well, are you taking your supplements? And usually the answer is no. And it's amazing how much of a difference that these make. And as you can see from everything that we went over, all of these supplements really help with our Hashimoto symptoms, and we need to be taking them every day. So I hope this was helpful. Remember to download the supplement guide so you can kind of get an idea of when to take them, and then enjoy the rest of this week.